North Branch Land Trust is celebrating its 30th anniversary this December. 30 years of conservation in northeastern Pennsylvania has meant so much to so many, we could only show you a glimpse of the big picture.
I've always loved nature. I went to school in New York City, and I'm glad I did, but I need to be around trees. I'm Will Cunningham, and my wife and I recently signed a conservation easement with NBLT for our 40 acres in Lehman Township. We love this property. We've been living here since 1981. Our son David shot his first buck on this property. Our daughters rode horses on this property, and I want it to be this way 100 years from now.
The favorite part of my property is what I call the swamp. The correct term is the wetland. It's just this cool place to be. I'm Ed Zygmunt. Welcome to the property my wife and I lovingly call Perennial Acres. My wife Amber and I were proud to say that we were the first landowner in Susquehanna County to partner with the North Branch Land Trust. And the main reason we did that was, first of all, just the open space. It's just nice to be out in nature. We see all kinds of wildlife all the time. We have beautiful forests and wildflowers on the property, and knowing that it's always going to be preserved through the North Branch Land Trust really means a lot to us.
I will admit I'm an outsider, therefore I'm outside all the time. I think people go by and think, is she ever in the house? Hi, I'm Bonnie Silvetti, owner of Grape Rock Farm, and I am the proud third generation owner. Grape Rock Farm consists of 55 plus acres, and what I like the best about it is I don't see a house in sight, and I do not want it to be developed.
How come? Tell us why.
It would be devastating to see a high-rise over there, and I believe in restoration and keeping it the way it is.
We saw 2 eagles over our yard, like doing this eagle thing, and I was like, God, isn't that wonderful? Wildlife's losing habitat because of development. So, what can I stop? I can stop what development happens on our property.
If you love the land like we do, it's important to look beyond what's happening in your own life and think about, what will this area be like 100 years from now, 200 years from now?
It's important to conserve land because it's the only land we have. I am extremely happy and grateful that we have the North Branch Land Trust and how they're expanding and trying to get more lands conserved.
I remember when I was a little kid, I'd be sitting in the back seat in my parents' car, and I'd be driving down the road and I'd see billboards, and I'd stuck my finger out. And I imagined that my finger was a saw, and I was cutting down those billboards because they were blocking the view. So that's a born conservationist, I guess.
Looking back, we've come to realize that conservation is about loving your home, loving your community, your backyard, loving the water we drink, the air we breathe, the lands we walk, and the wildlife and magnificent natural resources. Conservation is loving all of that enough to share it with the future. Thank you for 30 years of conservation in northeastern Pennsylvania. North Branch Land Trust, conserving precious land forever.